welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title of this video, I am going to be doing a sketchbook flip through. So this is a pocket Moleskine, and it's actually my third that I've finished. And as you can see by the dates here, I've finished this one pretty quickly. So the first one I did within a year, the second one I did within 2 years, and then this one I've done within a year. So if you want to see the sketchbook tours for the last two, just head on over to the playlist that is called Sketchbook Tours, and you'll find those there. So yeah, let's get into this. I feel like I filled this in quickly because of lockdown. Here in the UK, we've been under a couple of lockdowns now, and I feel like that's the reason I filled it in so quickly. But I also feel like my style within the sketchbooks has altered. I've been a bit more free, and I've not put any constraints on myself as to what to put in this. So I'm not just thinking it has to be sketching or painting. I've done all sorts in here: collages, realism, abstract, a little bit of everything. And I feel like by doing that, I filled this a lot quicker because I've just allowed myself to create and just create something. So first off, we start with, before lockdown, we travelled down south to visit my girlfriend's family, and I was just sat in the passenger seat and thought I'd draw the inside of the car. So that's what that is, very grayscale. I think it's just done with inks, with washes of ink, and a bit of pencil crayon, I think. This was, someone asked me to draw their friend, so I did, and that's that picture. I don't know who that is. My girlfriend always calls people pickle, so I drew her as a pickle head. I just thought it was something funny, a little bit random. And then I do acrylic paws. If you follow me on Instagram at LucyLocksArt, you'll see that I do acrylic paws on canvases and ceramics, and these are actually the bits that stick to my silicone mat, so I actually pulled them off and stuck them in. I thought it made quite a nice pattern. Then here, when I was visiting my mum, I was just doing some sketches of our dog Candy and some of the plants in the garden. And this actually is the first thing I did with that watercolour background with an inking on top. I was just trying it out in here, and this actually got a lot of likes on Instagram, and so that's where I've started to develop doing that art style. So that's where this has started to come from, and my Hugh Members and things. So this actually launched a new style for me of art, which is quite nice. It's good to look back on. Then this is a rose in my mum's garden I took a reference photo from and then painted it, and then I did a little wordle here, which is just a continuous sentence, really, no punctuation. It's not really a poem, I don't really know what it is, but I started doing this since watching Peter Draws on YouTube, so I'll let you pause that and read that if you'd like. Then here, this is Sandra Oh. I was watching Killing Eve at the time and I was really enjoying it, so I thought I'd just sketch her with my Arteza pencil crayons, so I really enjoyed that. Just a quick study. Then I got into using the pencil crayons quite a lot, and I was using my Polychromos and my Arteza, like I say. I started doing some studies of hands, ear, nose, and then I actually used my body can, I can't remember which one's which. I realised I was talking as I was moving away from the camera there. I don't remember which one's which, but these, I was using these, and I was kind of referencing this one. Was it this one? No, this one. To kind of draw this pose here, and I thought he looked like he was fishing, so, and then I drew a bit of a silly hat on top of him there. Just a bit of studies kind of thing. I want to do a bit more of this sort of stuff in the future, but I actually have a dedicated sketchbook to this, which I've not used in a long time, so I must start looking into that. That's the only problem with this Moleskine. What? Comment in the comments below, what do you say, Moleskine or Moleskine? I never know which one it is. Yeah, the problem with having one of these small pocket sketchbooks is that I tend to focus on this. Whenever I feel like drawing, I just go straight to this because it's small, I can do quick things in it. And I've actually neglected a lot of my other sketchbooks that are more dedicated to a certain style of art, or etc. So I must get back to that. Maybe that'll have to be a resolution this new year, 2021. And then, as I said, I was a bit obsessed with pencil crayons, so started drawing some feathers, and then I don't know whether I got my Neewer Viviva colour sheets. I think I got the newest Etcher ones with the metallics in, so I kind of just did a little brick sort of thing, and then in ink, just wrote over the top saying multicoloured bricks, nothing spectacular. And then again, some more pencil crayon work. This is actually from a reference photo I took in Berlin where the sun was setting, and I wanted to be really just simple with this, nothing detailed or anything like that, and it was just where there's a skyline and then the water underneath, and I thought it was quite pretty. Then I did a little dash hunt. Yeah, this was actually based off a picture that's on one of our cushions downstairs in the living room, and I really like the shape of it, so I did it kind of a little bit more detailed than the cartoon picture on the cushion. What you will notice if you watch my last flip through Moleskine sketchbook, I actually stuck a lot of those pages together or blacked them out, and you will see that I think I only blacked out one page in this, and I've not stuck any together, so I don't think anyway. So I've actually managed to fill this fully and not shy away from some of my art, 'cause some of it is a bit questionable, and probably at one stage in my life I would have covered up because I didn't like it or didn't want to show it, but now I've started to embrace the random and the strange. I get a magazine called New Civil Engineer, which is for work, and this was just someone in it that I decided to sketch, do a bit of a quick study. I've tried to do a bit more sketching this last year where I'm not using grids or tracing or anything, I'm just doing straight from the picture, and it's helped me a lot to just learn how to sketch from looking at the picture, break up the picture. This is just a random woman, no one spectacular, and I actually got some new masking tapes, they're like really colourful ones. I've got big packs of different colours, and I was a bit obsessed with them. I bought them from Hobbycraft, they were on offer, and really started to explore them and try and make different textures in the sketchbook. And as you see, I've used them again, and I've got 2 different sizes, so I did that, and I just did a really rough watercolour painting in the back there, just from imagination, so there's nothing to it. I always like to do something from travelling or from visiting somewhere, so I went to visit my girlfriend's family, and we went to Wisley Royal Horticultural Society garden down south, and these were just a fountain and I can't remember what these are called, but a little shelter area, just from there, quick sketches. Then I got some chocolate, and I've always, since being a child, and I know so many people probably do this, so let me know if you do, when I finish a chocolate, it's come in one of these aluminium foil wrappers. I can't talk today. I always, as a kid, would save them, and I still do it now. I still do it with so many things. There's another piece of art in here that I've used wrappers from chocolates for, but yeah, I really like this. I like the colours of the wrappers. I think these are Lindor, are they the same thing? I don't know, but I use the fancy chocolates for these, which I quite liked. Then I went on a trip up to Northumbria with my girlfriend for her birthday, and she got me into etching. What's this called? Is it called etching? Where you scribble over, you put your paper over something and you put your pencil over it to etch over it, to get what the print is underneath. So this was, it's your usual crown from the Queen of England royal monarchy, but this was on one of the tanks at the castle. And then I had a blank space, and I actually have some foil thing for an up and coming project that you'll see soon, I hope, which I just stuck on there because I wanted to see what it was like, and I quite like that look about it. It's a bit regal. And again, another etching from a stone in Chillingham Castle. No, not Chillingham Castle, it was Bamborough Castle, I tell a lie. And yeah, I just really like the patterning on it, and I thought I would etch over it, and I've sprayed a fixative over this so that it doesn't ruin, and I'll have that forever, so I stuck those in. This is the tank that I took the first etching from, and this is Alnwick Castle here. Very nice castle. It's where some of the Harry Potter stuff was filmed. It's very nice to go and visit, highly recommend. This is in Bamborough Castle. As I've mentioned, I am an engineer, and they had this finding like an old-fashioned way of finding angles and stuff. I don't know, people might still use this, I have no idea, but I thought it really interested me, so I took a photo and I actually replicated it because I really liked it. And then this is the Holy Island Castle on Lindisfarne, which is really lovely. We visited so many castles that trip, I couldn't help myself but paint them. And this is a watercolour painting of Bamburgh Castle. I did this in my Viviva colour sheets because it was really handy. If you watched my video on what I carry around in my Etcher mini satchel, this is, I showed the Viviva colour sheets because they're just a little pad of watercolours and they're really handy. And I just sat on the beach and painted this because it was a really lovely sunset and really vivid colours, and I really enjoyed that. So there's a lot of pieces in this that I actually wish I'd done on paper. I really enjoyed the look of them, so I might have to replicate them or just scan them in and see if I can knit those together and get a good print out of those, really. Then the final castle we went to was Chillingham Castle. This is the outside of the castle. I went a little bit more abstract with the colours, and in the cafe there's this lovely, well, it's not lovely because it's a dead skull of a deer, a stag, and it's sad, but it's massive. It's so big. This, obviously this doesn't show you how big it is, but it is so very big. I think one of its antlers is probably taller than I am. It's that big. It's quite spectacular, really, albeit very sad. And then this is a statue within the Chillingham Castle grounds, and we actually were on a platform and you could see down on it, and I really liked the look of that, so I did a quick painting and study of it there. And then I was just playing around. I saw this technique on Instagram, I think, where you actually use just plain water and you draw out the profile of a person, and then you just dab in the water and it kind of does this feathering effect, which I really liked, so I just did a couple of those just to test it out. Then I used some watercolour brush pens. I can't remember the name. I think they're Zig. Is that Sakura? Zig? I don't know. Anyway, I used these watercolour pens, and I was watching a bit of Walking Dead at the time, rewatched it, and really wanted to just create Rick Grimes there, so I just did a quick sketch of him in those vivid colours, and I really liked that. Then here I was watching a bit of Peter Draws, I think. Any doodle like this is probably inspired by Peter Draws, and I was just playing around with this, kind of a bit of a building on a floating island. Yeah, just a little bit play with that. I found an old book from when I was younger, because I'm a bit obsessed with dinosaurs, and when I was younger I wanted to be a paleontologist, and I found an old dinosaur book and wanted to just create a bit of a pterodactyl sketch. Then I was doing a bit of studies of deer and stags. I can't actually remember why I did this, but I was just being really loose with the shading and the sketching, kind of breaking up the stuff with circles, trying to get how, you know, the shapes are made. That's what my goal was this year, was to develop sketching with shapes rather than using grid method and things like that. So that's that. This was another acrylic pour, but I actually did it on some card and I really liked it, so I took it off and glued it in here. So it's quite a thick page, that, but it's very nice. I quite like it. It's very shiny with a bit of gold in there. This is a random doodle which I obviously never finished and probably never will, but it's quite nice shapes. This is actually based off a picture of my girlfriend well, it's actually not a picture. I asked my girlfriend to sit there with our cat, and our cat always looks adoringly at us when we sit with him on the bed, so I wanted to capture that, so I did a quick sketch study of that, which I really like. I did an Instagram TV video for this, but I used my masking tape, the fancy coloured ones I was mentioning earlier, and I did some washes of watercolour, but this paper just made my masking tape stick to it all and ripped some of the pages and allowed some of it to bleed, but I quite like the look of it. Maybe we'll try something different on some normal paper. We went to visit my mum, and my girlfriend actually did some painting of some of the flowers. This was way before the start of the sketchbook, I think, but I found them the other day and I really liked them, so I stuck them in and got my girlfriend to sign it because I thought that was quite nice. And she's a better painter than she thinks, that's for sure. Then I think this is the only page that I've blacked out, so I can't actually remember what was under that, but I blacked it out and then just did a little quick doodle, nothing spectacular, just a bit random, getting my creative juices flowing before filming something else, no doubt. This is I watched Matthew Sorgi on YouTube and found his TikTok where he explained how to do quick sketches of eyes, and I really found it helpful, so I just did a couple of eyes in here. Highly recommend going to check that TikTok out. Then again, did some more dinosaur sketches. I want to try and develop my own dinosaur type things. I think that'd be quite good as a character design, and I want to be a bit more imaginative in this new year. Actually, I want to develop things more from my imagination rather than from reference all the time. I just think it's a good skill to have, so I'm hoping to do that. This is another thing that I wish I'd done on a piece of paper or something, but this is an acrylic. I was using my Arteza acrylics of Kirkstall Abbey, which is just around the corner from where I live actually. It's beautiful. I was walking along the canal and I took this photo of it and I replicated it in acrylics, a little bit more painterly at the front here and then a touch more detailed in the back. But I really like this and I'm really proud of it. I'm definitely going to scan this in. Then I think I received my Graffitint, Derwent Graffitint watercolours in a scroll box and wanted to play with them. And I just ordered a book called Into the Devon Woods or something, and it's about someone's done like a nature journal about the Devon Woods, and she did a kind of similar painting to this and I really liked it, so I took a bit of inspiration and did my own just to test out the supplies. Then here I used the same Derwent Graffitint as a wash back here, and then I used the cling film, that's why I've left that in here, just to create this kind of effect in the background, which is really nice. And then I used some inks to draw a really rough wren over the top there, which I quite like. And then again, I was watching Peter Draws, and he had a video up where he kind of talked you through how he does his scrawling, he likes to call it, I think, and I really liked it, and I was watching and kind of trying it along with it, and then I thought it looked like a floating city, so I had a little bit of a spaceship, which kind of also looks like a gun, coming in there, and then one of these kind of zoomed in shots to show you what's the working of this little bit here, and I did a more detailed doodle there, and I really like that. I think it's simple and a bit fun, and a bit of a page filler there. Here, this is, I actually have a book of maps which I bought from Salt's Mill in Saltaire in Yorkshire, West Yorkshire, and it has a load of maps, but random maps, kind of not your typical map necessarily, but it has some maps in there, and there's this kind of oriental style map, and I really like the muted colours, and I kind of wanted this background with the mountain, and then I wanted to introduce slightly more vibrant colours but sticking with this muted tone to create almost a Bob Ross style lake and bushes and trees. I really like that. I was playing around with that quite a lot and developing this kind of new style with the acrylics, so hopefully I'll be able to create some new things like that in the future. Then I don't know why I started this, but I was just sat at my desk and decided to do a bit of a study of my desk but in highlighters. I quite enjoyed that. I enjoyed kind of studying the light from my ring light and how it was shining on everything and casting shadows, etc. It's not the best, but I quite liked studying that. Then here I got some watercolours from an old scroller box. I ordered some past scroller boxes because they were on offer, and I was just trying that out and saw and created this little mushroom there, nothing spectacular. Again, another thing, but with the primary colours I did a wash, and then it's very light on there, but it's just in some brown pencil, just did some studies of nose and the ear and a face there. Then it was my cat Freddie's birthday. He was 5, so I wrote a little poem. Well, my girlfriend and I wrote a little joint poem to him. So I don't know if you can read my writing, it's terrible writing. So it just says, "To our darling dear Freddie, you are now 5 years. You enjoy a good tickle on your belly and ears. Snuggled in bed, you do loudly snore, and when we're upstairs, you scratch at the door. You run around crazy like the Mad Hatter, and when watching the birds, you do like to chatter. Your eyes are beautiful and so green, your body slinky, strong and lean. We love your curly whiskers and frazzled eyebrows, kisses in the morning and soft meows. You fill us with so much love and joy, our favourite four-legged furry little boy." that was just a little poem for his 5th birthday. Yes, we did write a poem for our cat. Then this, I actually really enjoyed this. So a lot of this I do post to Instagram, so if you do want to see any of that, you can go follow me on there at LucyLocksArt. I actually got some little Christmas papers, little square papers for card making and things like that, and I cut them into strips and created this little robin out of that, trying to get the colours and the red breast, etc., and the feather lines, kind of where the feathers were going. So you've got these thin ones for the back feathers, and then slightly fluffier here, etc. And then I coated it in glue, so you will have seen that on Instagram if you follow me on there. But I really enjoyed that. I think it turned out really, really nice, and I'd like to do a bigger piece similar to this, I think. And then on to the final pages, I was watching Fear the Walking Dead, so I wanted to draw a zombie, but I had a red ballpoint pen, and I wanted to try out kind of shading with a black and red pen, but that's all in ballpoint pen, so it just shows that you can create art with, doesn't have to be this gruesome of course, but you can create art with almost anything. And I actually really enjoy creating art with ballpoint pen. I have a sketchbook where I do kind of tree and bark studies, and I just solely use a ballpoint pen for that, and I really enjoy that. And then here I actually received the watercolour crayons in a scroller box, so I did a quick wash of kind of a sunset, and then cut this page out to be a bit of a building, stuck that on, which I quite liked, something a bit different. And then, like I say about the wrappers of chocolates, I had some Ferrero Rochers from a Secret Santa at work and just stuck down that foil, and I thought it looked really nice, and then just wrote over Merry Christmas, because it finished this just before Christmas, which is pretty good. So yeah, that's the whole sketchbook. I think it went really, really well, and if you saw my last sketchbook tour, you will have seen that I actually accidentally bought a fake Moleskine, and it really makes a difference. I really enjoyed using this, and it's turned out really, really nice. I think I've really enjoyed the process of doing this. I think there's a lot of different styles of art in here. I've played with it, I've been a bit more free and open, and I think I've created a lot more, and I do recommend trying to finish a tiny sketchbook like this, because it really does get your creative juices flowing. If I'm stuck for creating art, I will just create something in this, and it will get me going and ready. And as you see, it's actually a lot thicker than the others. I filled it with a lot more collage type stuff compared to this first one, which seems to be only kind of 2D art and flat inkings and drawings. But yeah, I really enjoyed this, and if you did too, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos similar to this, and comment below if you enjoy filling a tiny sketchbook like this, or do you prefer filling a big sketchbook, because I know people do prefer bigger size sketchbooks. Yeah, so that's it. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.